hear the sound of the small drum that night. Not because of the music. Because that was the night our queen smiled while a child was taken away. I was born in a small village near the forest in southern Nigeria. Back then our village was quiet. We had farms, palm trees, goats walking everywhere, and people who knew each other by name. Life was simple, but above all of us was the palace. And inside the palace was the queen. Her name was Queen Aderonk. She was not born in our village. She came from another town after marrying our king many years ago. People said she was beautiful when she first arrived. Tall, calm, always wearing red beads. But the king died only 5 years after the marriage. After that, everything changed. In the beginning she ruled like a normal leader. She sat with the elders. She listened to farmers. She attended festivals. But slowly, strange things started happening. The queen began to stay inside the palace most of the time. Only her guards and 2 old women were always around her. And every few months, a child would disappear. At first people thought it was kidnappers from the highway. Then some blamed the forest. But the truth was darker. And I learned it by accident. My name is Tunda. At that time I was 16 years old. My father worked as a palm wine tapper. Sometimes I helped him climb trees or carry the calabash of wine to the market. One evening my father sent me to the palace. The palace cooks always bought fresh palm wine. It was good money for us. So I carried the clay pot on my head and walked to the palace gate. It was already getting dark. When I arrived, the main gate was open but quiet. Usually the guards would shout and joke, but that day they were whispering. One of them waved me in. "Go to the back kitchen," he said. I walked through the courtyard. The palace was big but old. The walls were made of mud and painted white. Some parts were cracked. I remember hearing a drum. Just one drum. Slow. Boom, 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 not like festival music. More like a heartbeat. The kitchen was empty. No cooks. No fire. That was strange. I stood there holding the palm wine pot and waited. Then I heard something. A child crying. Soft at first, then louder. It was coming from behind the palace. Curiosity is dangerous sometimes. But I was young. I followed the sound. Behind the palace there was a small shrine area. Not many villagers knew about it because it was hidden by tall trees and thick leaves. As I moved closer, I saw firelight. And people. 5 palace guards. 2 old women. And the queen. She was standing near a wooden table. The drum was beside the table, and an old man was beating it slowly. Boom, boom, boom. On the table was a small boy. Maybe 6 years old. His hands were tied. His eyes were full of tears. When I saw that, my legs froze. I hid behind a big tree. I should have run away. But I didn't move. One of the old women spoke. "Your Majesty, the spirits must be fed before the next moon." The queen nodded slowly. Her face had no emotion. No anger. No sadness. Nothing. The small boy cried louder. "I want my mother," he said. I still remember his voice. Thin and shaking. One of the guards slapped the table. "Quiet." The queen lifted her hand. The guard stopped. She walked closer to the boy. Then she did something that still makes my stomach twist. She smiled. Not a happy smile. Just a small cold smile. "Do not cry," she told the boy. Her voice was calm. "The spirits will protect this kingdom." The boy didn't understand. He kept crying. One of the old women brought a bowl with red powder and leaves. The drum became faster. Boom, 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 boom. I felt sweat running down my back. My heart was beating so loud I thought someone would hear me. Then the queen raised her hand again. And everything stopped. Silence. Even the drum. She turned slightly. And for 1 second, I thought she was looking directly at me. I ran. I didn't even remember leaving the palm wine pot behind. I ran through the palace courtyard, through the gate, down the dusty road. My chest hurt. My legs were shaking. When I reached home my father asked what happened. I told him everything. Every single thing. He listened quietly. Then he did something that shocked me. He slapped me. Hard. "Never say those words again," he whispered. His face was pale. "You want us to die." I didn't understand. "A child," I said. "They will kill him." My father looked around to make sure nobody was near. Then he spoke very quietly. "Many people know," he said. "But nobody speaks." I felt cold. "Why?" He looked toward the direction of the palace. "Because people who speak disappear." That night I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing the drum in my head. Boom, 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 and the boy's voice. I want my mother. In the morning the village woke up to news. A child was missing. His name was Sola. My chest tightened. It was the same boy. His mother was screaming in the market square. People gathered around her, pretending to search the forest. But their eyes were empty. Everyone already knew the truth. No one said it. For 2 years this continued. Children disappeared. Always during the dark moon. Always boys or girls from poor families. And the queen became richer. More guards. More power. More fear. Then something happened that changed everything. The wrong child was taken. One night another child vanished. But this time it was the son of Chief Adaime. Chief Adaime was the strongest man in the Council of Elders. He controlled many farms and many workers. When his son disappeared, he refused to stay silent. He gathered men, dozens of them, with lanterns, with machetes, and they marched straight to the palace. I was there that night. Not by choice. My father forced me to stay inside the house. But the shouting outside was too loud. Open the gate, the chief yelled. The palace guards tried to stop them. But there were too many villagers. The gate broke. People rushed inside. Women crying. Men shouting. Someone rang the village bell again and again. The queen came out into the courtyard. She looked calm, even with hundreds of angry people around her. Chief Adaime stood in front of her. Where is my son? The queen said nothing. The chief pointed toward the back forest. Search. People ran behind the palace. Some minutes later someone screamed. They had found the shrine. The drum, the table, the ropes, the bowl with red powder. And the chief's son tied to the table. Still alive. Barely. The entire village exploded with anger. I have never seen people that angry before. Even the palace guards stepped back. They knew it was over. The queen was dragged to the shrine. For the first time, I saw fear on her face. Not big fear, but enough. Chief Adaime looked at the table, then at her. Is this how you protect the kingdom? He asked. The queen didn't answer. The old women tried to run. Villagers caught them. The drum was smashed. The shrine was burned. And that night the queen lost everything. The council removed her from power before sunrise. Government officers from the nearby town were called later. The queen and the 2 old women were taken away in a police truck. Many secrets came out after that. More than 20 missing children over the years. Families that had been silent because they were afraid. Rituals done in the name of protecting the kingdom. But the kingdom was never in danger. Only the children were. I am older now, almost 30. But sometimes when the night is quiet, I still hear that drum. Boom, 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 and I remember the moment the queen smiled at that small boy. That was the moment I understood something terrible. Sometimes the most dangerous person in a village is not the stranger from the forest. Sometimes it is the person sitting on the throne.